Waking up 4:30 in the morning suits me very well. Sometimes it's tough, but the alarm goes off and you wake up. This time of the day has been called Brahma Muhurat for a reason, because your consciousness, which is always present, is dealing with the mind and body during the daytime. But physiologically, your mind and body are sleeping around this time. The hormones which normally start your day-to-day activities, like adrenaline, corticosteroids, all those things which actually start waking up your whole system, they are not functional yet. So your body is more under the command of your Chetana, which is the consciousness within. Also, invariably, at 4:30, when you wake up, and if dreams have been going on, you suddenly wake up with the full awareness of the surrounding, and you realize that dreams which appeared so real, they are totally fake. In a normal process, when you wake up without alarm, usually or invariably the dreams have faded and they have become a distant part of your memory, if at all you remember. And then you wake up, and that's more like a normal cycle. And then you get on with the life that you call life. But I don't. And I'll show you how. When you wake up at 4:30, you're breaking the sleep. There is a stark contrast between the dream that you were just watching and you suddenly get up. You need to analyze your experiences. So when there is a sudden contrast between the dreamful state and awake state, you realize whatever you were watching in the dream, how silly it was, but it's not there anymore. What's the difference? Your awareness, which was dormant under the spell of the dream, remains awake and alert at the time of waking up. And in that contrast of your full awareness, the dream seems like a dream. And in this contrast, you can easily laugh at all the things that were happening in the dream. And now they are not there anymore. Life itself is not much different than a dream. The only things that we have not waken up at all. Through the meditation, this can be achieved. Throughout our life, if you analyze, when we come into this world with our full consciousness and the dormant mind in the form of vrittis and vasanas, and we just have given up one body, and our vasanas and vrittis are still alive. These vrittis and vasanas, which is part of the dormant mind, needs a body. So usually, invariably, another life starts And the body, which is given to you, is made out of the 5 elements. Similarly, when we go to sleep at night, we are conscious. But as soon as our consciousness starts fading, and then we fall asleep, the dream starts. But the condition is for the dreams to happen, you have to be asleep. Is by default, you cannot be awake and watch a dream. But the consciousness, which is under the spell of ignorance, does not know itself. It thinks that it is the mind and it is the body. The body is gone, but the mind is still there. So vrittis and vasanas are fully alive, for which you need a body to execute those vrittis and vasanas. So the consciousness, which is all the time pristine and pure, has forgotten itself because of its proximity to the mind, which has been there for many lives. The separation of the mind from the body is death. And because we are so attached to the mind and through the mind to the body, the process of death becomes very painful, because we think that we are losing everything that we have. But mind was never yours. The body was never yours. And that's why it's taken away. The nature has created this death, which is beautiful. And then it gives you another chance, a new life, to realize the true truth of the whole thing. So when a new life begins, it's just like a new dream. Something that was not there is created out of vast material world, the 5 elements. And then a body is created to perceive this illusion called life. Just the way dream cannot start until you are fully asleep, same way this life that we know is carried out under only one condition, that you have to believe that you are the mind. Mind, it is the show. The whole game of life is a show of the mind. Mind is putting up the show in front of you, and you have to believe it. Just the way you believe your dreams. In the dreams, everything is so believable, so alive. But you are sleeping. And that's what's happening in the life. That you are awake, that you think you are awake, but you are not. You are under the spell of the mind. And whatever world is created by the mind, you believe in it. And to you, it seems so real. The only problem is you don't get a chance to wake up from the dream of the life itself. You compare our normal dreams with so-called normal life. The life starts by itself. You don't have a choice. Dreams start by themselves. You don't have a choice. Dreams seem real, so does the life. You cannot take anything out of this dream that you are watching at night. Similarly, from the life, you cannot take anything with you. Everything that was in the dream stays in the dream. There is a clear-cut distinction from the phase of dream to the phase of fully awake state. Nothing shifts from one to the other. Similarly, at the end of the life, nothing stays with you, and your inner consciousness goes on the journey to find another body. But whatever we have in our life, sansar, all our possessions stays here. They do not go with you. So there is much more to life than that we think, that we know. Meditation is a process where you can start knowing the inner secrets of life. Death separates the mind and the body, but the bondage with the mind is tough to break, because we believe in this dream so much, and we have believed in the mind for many years, many lives, and the whole show set up by the mind, and we have been under the spell of what we call Maya, the illusion that we are not ready to believe, that we are not the mind. The separation of the mind and your inner consciousness is possible only through meditation, through the process of awareness. Just the way at 4:30 in the morning when you wake up, your awareness becomes fully functional, and you can see the difference between the dreams which you were watching, which were so real, and now your consciousness is there, but the dream is not there. At the end of the life, your consciousness starts fading gradually, but it's taking the mind with it in a dormant state, only to manifest again for the next life. But if somebody dies suddenly, accidentally, it's almost like waking up at 4:30 in the morning. There is a great contrast between the life he or she just watched and he or she will be waking up to the new consciousness, which does not have the dream in front of it. The whole life becomes a dream, something that just arised on its own in our deep psyche. We watched the whole life, and we went through the drama of likes, dislikes, hatreds, angers, jealousy, grief, joys, happiness, all those things. The whole package comes to an end suddenly. Sometimes this sudden separation is needed to realize that life is a dream. People who die suddenly, they have a better chance of evolving spiritually, but the life is gone, and he or she has to try it again in the next life. So waking up at 4:30 in the morning, that gives me this contrast, is amazing to make me realize the reality of life. And I'm not talking about the life that we call life. With this contrast, separation of the full awareness from the mind, which becomes possible in meditation. In Brahma Muhurat, this consciousness is ruling your life, and you can take the full advantage of it in the Brahma Muhurat. And you can experience your own consciousness. You can go within itself beautifully. And you can see in this full awareness that the life that we call life is also nothing more than a dream which has been carried out by the mind. The mind is the master of this whole illusion called Maya, and we call it life. We are under the spell of this Maya that's making us believe everything that's in front of us. And we are so much under the influence of Maya that we refuse to believe anything else, because the separation of the mind and our inner consciousness has never happened. So through the meditation, go deep within. Awareness is the only key that's going to make you realize. That's the only thing it will help you analyze your inner psyche. And for the first time, you realize when through the awareness you create a distance between your inner consciousness and the mind, which has been gathering impressions from the life about the people around you, your material possessions, your mental possessions, your ideas, your thoughts, beliefs. When you start observing your mind, you're observing all those false notions that life is real. Just the way when we be watching the dream, we believe the dream is real. So come out of the spell. The dream remains a dream or becomes a dream only when you wake up. Until then, you are under the powerful grip of the dream itself, and you believe it. But when you wake up, you realize with your full awareness the dream was a dream. Same way, the life that we live, life that we call life, is an illusion that can be realized only when you wake up through meditation to the fully awareness state. And in this state, now you have created a contrast between the life that we call life and your inner world of consciousness, which is fully aware. And now in this state, you can realize that life is a dream, nothing more than that. It is something that comes by itself, is taken away by itself eventually. You cannot take anything out of it. And other than life, there is a life beyond that life, just the way we panic in the dreams from a bad dream, but we suddenly wake up and find a comfort that that was not real. Similarly, the life that we call life is nothing but a dream. The implications of these realizations are of great importance. All of a sudden, our grip on the life loosens. Our desires weaken. Our intentions to fix this world lessens. Now we're treating the life as a dream, as a play, as a joke. We don't take it seriously. We don't run after things like crazy, believing that we're gonna need these things forever. How silly were the pharaohs, where all those objects were collected in pyramids, thinking they will need them in the next life. At least they had a concept of the next life. We don't know. We are living this life as if that's the only reality we have. We're going after objects of pleasures. We are fully alive and active in exercising our ego, which is nothing but an illusion created by the mind. We are never thinking of any other existence besides our ego-driven life, which makes us believe the life as real. Ego is stupid. Its stupidity, its ignorance becomes obvious only when you walk away from the mind. It's an effort because we have always lived with our mind as our leader. So for the first time through the meditation, you're waking up above and beyond the mind. And little by little, mind starts coming under your command, which is the way it was supposed to be. So go deep, find out the inner reality. Then only you will realize the life is a dream. And then you will living it with joy, freedom, and not a life full of desires. Have a good day.